Manichaeism is a religion that centers around the belief that the world is in a constant struggle between good and evil, and that humans can overcome evil by seeking knowledge. Manichaeism held that the world was a fusion of spirit and matter, the original principles of good and evil, and that the fallen soul was trapped in the evil, material world, and could reach the transcendent world only by way of the spirit. Manichaeism was a major religion founded in the 3rd century A.D. by the Persian or Parthian prophet Mani. Manichaeism can be seen as the first synthesis of world religions. In the Manichaean world view, a divine realm of light opposes a realm of darkness. It is, therefore, a purely dualistic worldview. Both powers are engaged in a permanent struggle, where light sparks, the spirits of human beings, have been captured by the dark, material world. The believer's aim is to liberate these captured parts, which means that the spirit has to be more powerful than the body. When living creatures are killed, even when fruits are picked, the light is wounded and its captivity in this world prolonged. Procreation also contributes to the suffering of the light substance. Manichaeism's eschatology consists of a last judgment in which light and darkness will be separated for good. The idea that light will, in the end, be triumphant means that Manichaeism is essentially a teaching of salvation. A comparable dualistic worldview can be found in Iranian Mazdaism, in which the good god Ahura Mazda is opposed to the evil god Ahriman. This was the state cult of the Sasanian Empire, although it has antecedents that go back to Achaemenid times. The Behistun inscription, in which King Darius the Great, circa 522 to 486, describes his victories, places the triumph of Ahura Mazda in opposition to the defeat of the lie. Ideas like these influenced the prophet Mani, who was born in Ctesiphon in 214, called himself an apostle of Jesus Christ, and started to teach in Babylonia in circa 240. Because he lived in the Sasanian Empire, some modern historians have denied his Christian affiliations and stressed the Iranian background of his teachings. Mani, however, argued that Buddha, Zarathustra, Hermes Trismegistus, Plato, and Jesus Christ all brought the message of the same God to mankind. He tried to merge the doctrines of these earlier teachers, stressing an asceticism that may have been influenced by Marcionite Gnosticism. In the year 242, Mani was at the court of the Sasanian king Shapur I, to whom he dedicated one of his books. He traveled to Media, Turkestan, and Gandhara, while his disciples went to Egypt, Syria, and Parthia. Mani's luck, however, ran out during the reign of the first, who ordered his arrest in 276. He was tortured to death in Gundi Shapur. Because of the persecution, Mani's disciples fled to the east and west, which effectively contributed to the rise of the new religion. Within a century, there were Manichaean churches from Central Asia to Carthage, and it was certainly possible that Manichaeism, instead of Christianity, would become the leading world religion. In Turkestan, Manichaeism was to have its most lasting influence. By the year 1000, it was still the most important religion in that area. In Africa, Manichaeism was less powerful, although between 373 and 382, Augustine, the future bishop of Hippo and father of the Church, was a Manichaean. Later, he converted to Christianity and attacked his former religion in a treatise against the Manichaeans, which was, for centuries to come, the most important source about this religion. Augustine's authority made sure that in the Middle Ages, every dualistic belief was labeled Manichaean. However, the heart of Mani's religion was in Western Asia, in Syria, and what is now called Iraq. Here, Manichaeism flourished in the 10th century, in spite of persecutions by Christians, Muslims, and Zoroastrians. The facts of the history of Manichaeism are hard to establish. In spite of its swift expansion, it seems that by the 6th century, it was already past its prime. In the harsh and often violent world of late antiquity, a religion that preached pacifism, objected to the killing of all living creatures, and inspired people to live ascetic lives, was bound to disappear. Its members were at times violently persecuted. Nevertheless, continued Christian and Islamic criticism proves that there were still Manichaeans around. As already indicated, because of Augustine's influence, the word Manichaeism was used pejoratively by Christian authors to describe all kinds of dissident groups and heretics, although they were often not comparable. Paulicians, Marcionites, Zoroastrians, and other Mazdaists, they have at various times in history all been likened to Manichaeans. In the High Middle Ages, heterodox believers like the Bogomils, Cathars, and Waldensians were attacked with this standard accusation, which has been refuted by recent scholarship. Mani viewed himself as the final successor in a long line of prophets, beginning with Adam and including Buddha, Zoroaster, and Jesus. He viewed earlier revelations of the true religion as being limited in effectiveness because they were local, taught in one language to one people. Moreover, later adherents lost sight of the original truth. Mani regarded himself as the carrier of a universal message, destined to replace all other religions. At its core, Manichaeism was a type of Gnosticism, a dualistic religion that offered salvation through special knowledge of spiritual truth. Like all forms of Gnosticism, Manichaeism taught that life in this world is unbearably painful and radically evil. Inner illumination, or gnosis, reveals that the soul which shares in the nature of God has fallen into the evil world of matter and must be saved by means of the spirit or intelligence. Mani's teaching dealt with the origin of evil by addressing a theoretical part of the problem of evil, denying the omnipotence of God and instead postulating two opposite powers. The Manichaean view explained the existence of evil by positing a flawed creation in the formation of which God took no part, but constituted rather the product of a battle by the devil against God. Mani sought to found a truly ecumenical and universal religion that would integrate into itself all the partial truths of previous revelations, especially those of Zoroaster, Buddha, and Jesus. However, beyond mere syncretism, it sought the proclamation of a truth that could be translated into diverse forms in accordance with the different cultures into which it spread. Thanks for watching this and all our videos. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until we meet again, stay curious, fellow travelers, and have a great day.